Now we get to who is our president. You need to remember that I still think right now, I'm still, unless it changed since I've been talking, that we still have free speech in the United States of America. Our president's name is Barack Hussein Obama. We're about to be in an election. To whom much is given, much is required. That means our forefathers, bled and died so that you have the right to vote. And don't think that someday God won't say to you, I gave you the chance to vote. These countries didn't have the chance to vote. You had the chance to vote. I'm not crazy about either of the guys that are running for president. It wouldn't have been anybody I'd have picked. They didn't call me. So when that happens, what I have to do, I have to look at what do they stand for. I have to look at how they line up with the Bible, because that's all that matters anyway. It doesn't matter if they're a Democrat or Republican or an independent. It matters how do they line up with the Bible, because you will be held to account one day. And so let's look. Let's look at Barack Obama. On abortion, he's pro-abortion. His opponent is anti-abortion. Family. Barack Obama is same-sex marriage. He's for that. He's all for it. And these aren't things that I just pulled up and decided to write. Go to their websites and look at their stance. This is public knowledge. This isn't Lisa saying this. This is on the internet. Go home tonight, check me, and see what it says. Socialism. He's pro-welfare state, increased spending. He's not afraid to say we're going to take care of everybody, because I believe he wants everybody dependent on the government and not God. Romney is pro-capitalism, balancing the budget, decreased spending. You know, we have a $16 trillion debt right now, and it's rising all the time. To whom much is given, much is required. And no, don't think that he won't say to you, you have this money, and you're not even making a budget? Let's look at Israel real quick. Let's go back to Israel. Where do we stand in regard to Israel? God tells us in Genesis 12:3, I told you, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. In regard to their land, in Genesis 15, I told you, he tells the boundaries. He said, this is your land. It is an everlasting covenant. And he says, I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be the God to you and to your descendants after you, and will give to you and your descendants after you the land of your sojourning, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting covenant. God says it's everlasting. Now, if God says it's everlasting and he gives the boundaries, I don't think it's my job to split it up. I don't think it's our country's job to split it up. And you may have heard last night on the debates that they were both for Israel. Well, when people talk's cheap. Talk's really cheap. We look at people's actions, don't we? We look at people's actions. A few weeks ago, Ben Netanyahu kept trying to get the president to meet with him over and over again. Over and over again, he was asking him to meet with him because his enemies are coming against him, and they're coming against him. But he was too busy. He was on The View, Letterman, and he was in Las Vegas. But last night, he sounded like he was Israel's best friend. I was thinking, do I have amnesia?